It was funny because this morning, right before we started, Blake was like, "Man, it's been pretty quiet today," and he fucking jinxed the shit out of us.
Dang.
Goddamn garbage trucks and
They start demolishing the
helicopters.
building next door.
Exactly. Hey, I'm Blake.
And I'm Dave.
And this is First Prize Films, the podcast where we each select a genre-specific movie separated by at least a decade and pit them against each other to find out which film, for the love of fucking God, wins the coveted title of First Prize. Dave, can you tell us what that means?
Yeah, it's like the points in Whose Line Is It Anyway? Doesn't matter. So today we are wrecking our way through monster movies, but it's a special episode because we have a guest.
Oh, yes.
It's my friend, Eva, or on TikTok, Queenworm.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for dealing with our shenanigans. We're diving into monster movies today.
Yes.
This is a big one. Eva, you're a pretty big monster movie fan, am I right?
Huge monster movie fan. If I could only watch monster movies, I would. I was extra excited that you guys were willing to do this one.
No pressure on us.
I'm not typically a monster movie fan, but I will say this episode is going to be pretty fun.
It's going to be very fun. Yes, I agree. So I made Blake watch Godzilla, King of Monsters. It's a movie about a misunderstood, oversized nuclear lizard and his bully.
And I made Dave watch the 2008 film Cloverfield, a movie that may or may not have made me projectile vomit all over myself and all over my worldly possessions.
Yes, and we made Eva watch them both.
I'm in so much debt. So, Eva, how did you feel watching these movies? How long has it been since you've seen them?
So I think it had been, I think I watched Godzilla right when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then Cloverfield I watch yearly.
Yearly.
I own two movies, and one of them is Frankenweenie, and the other one is Cloverfield.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Two wonderful choices. I love Frankenweenie.
I don't even know what that is.
Are you a crier? Because
Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, so I'm going to watch this movie by myself in isolation, and I will never talk about it.
It's fine. You can cry in front of me, Dave. I love you and accept you as you are. I have to say, I'm not a huge monster movie fan, but when the topic came up to possibly cover it, I was really excited. I chose Cloverfield because I've never seen it.
Yes.
People warned me, hey, don't go see this in the theater. You're going to get sick.
Yeah.
And I avoided it at all costs. And so, since I hate myself, and I hate you, and I hate this fucking show, I was like, let's watch this movie.
Fuck it.
This sounds great. People talk about it still all the time. Eva's a fan, and I'm like, I got to see what this whole thing's about.
Yeah, and I chose Godzilla, King of Monsters, because I didn't know it was a sequel. No, okay, to be fair, as a kid, I loved Godzilla. In fact, I'm certain I had a Godzilla toy at some point. But I wanted to do a Godzilla movie, but there wasn't any that were far enough away from Cloverfield's release date that wasn't a sequel. So I just picked the one that was closest, that turned out to pretty much be okay as a standalone movie.
I agree. I know nothing really about Godzilla, but it was a fun discovery thing for me.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know a lot about the lore of anybody else other than Godzilla. But, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't love most of it. I'm just kidding. No.
It's like, we're getting there. Okay. Right. Sweet, Dave.
I was like, ooh, burn.
Well, Eva, do you know much about Godzilla?
No, I actually didn't. I learned a lot just in researching because I was like, I want to know like size comparisons between these monsters and stuff. While I was learning that, I discovered some stuff about Godzilla that I thought was interesting, actually.
We're going to go ahead and discuss these, but we're not going to keep Eva around waiting for us to go through them. So
I don't want to put her through that.
No, we're not going to put her through that.
I appreciate it, guys.
So we will see you in a minute.
All right.
Movie 1, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 2019.
All right, give us the synopsis for Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
After San Francisco is destroyed in a different movie, apparently, a family fights against each other to bring peace to the planet somehow, while also fighting against giant zoo creatures. Oh, and Godzilla is there too.
We opened to Godzilla's scream in a flashback of 2014.
Yeah.
As our main characters realize that their son has died in the destruction left by Godzilla.
Yeah, we're a minute and a half into this movie, and they break the first rule of monster movies, which is never show the monster before you absolutely have to. But what I'm actually realizing, after the fact, of course, is this is a fucking sequel. I had no fucking idea.
Back in present day, though, we're with Mom, Dr. Emma.
But just to be clear, Emma's son, he was smushed
I'm
by
assuming.
Godzilla. Bummer. Bad way to go out.
She listens to news about the world wanting her company Monarch to be held accountable for the destruction from 2014. Then we see Madison, played by the brilliant Bobby Millie Brown, debating whether or not to respond to Dad, Mark, his email. So clearly the family is split up now.
Yeah.
So after Madison burns breakfast, Emma reveals that she's finished a device. And Madison asks,
Think it's gonna work?
It's gonna work.
Then a small earthquake hits. Or maybe not an earthquake, because now we see that we're actually in a mobile house thing in China.
It's Godzilla. He sneezed.
Or farted.
Some form of gastrointestinal
Discharge.
disturbance.
What the hell happened?
She was sleeping like a baby until an hour ago.
So Emma and Madison go into an enormous lab with some giant larva type thing that erupts from an equally giant egg thing.
It's bring your daughter to witness the birth of an uncontrollable monster day.
So another scientist is like, meet Titus Mosura, or as we like to call her,
Mothra. Incredible.
Hey, I've heard that name. That's a thing.
I've heard of Mothra, so yeah.
Okay.
That's a thing.
So they try to contain it, and something goes haywire with the system, and it immediately pisses Mothra off. I could have told you that was going to happen, but I'm just the audience member. So Mothra starts going moth shit on all these workers when Emma busts out her device, which tries to match the frequency of the giant, and it just pisses it off even more. Until Madison comes running out, and it works. Mothra turns docile again.
You just have to play whatever kind of music Mothra's into at the time.
Yeah.
I actually really want to know what that playlist consists of.
Probably a lot of smooth jazz.
My man.
Or brutal, heavy death metal.
One or the other.
There's no middle ground there.
Absolutely none.
But just when everyone starts to celebrate, some mercenary team comes bursting in and shoots everyone, taking Madison and Emma hostage. Oh, and the device, because of course the giants aren't enough.
Monarch is uniquely prepared to determine which of these titans are here to threaten us and which of these titans are here to protect us.
Smash cut to Monarch trying to convince Congress to let them continue their work instead of just destroying all of the giant monster things. And Congress is just not having it.
Monarch was tasked with finding and destroying these radioactive monsters. But you either can't or won't tell us how many there are or why they're showing up.
So there's Godzilla, Mothra,
Yep.
and more?
Other ones that are big and step on children.
Yep.
They need their own playlists.
Anyway, so they're trying to explain to Congress that humans must find a way to coexist with these quote-unquote titans. And the main congresswoman is like, you want to make Godzilla our pet? And the Japanese doctor, Dr. Shirazawa, played by Saito from Inception,
Ken Watanabe.
he says,
No, we will be his.
yeah, I'm not sure I'm on the side of being the pet of a gigantic lizard that spits beams, but could be good. In the middle of all this, 2 of the 3 Monarch people get up and leave due to an emergency. But before we find out what that emergency is, which is annoying, we're now in Colorado with Mark.
Yeah.
And he's shooting pictures and recording a pack of wolves when a military plane/chopper lands, and the 3 Monarch people from the Congress thing earlier, they get out, and Mark is not happy to see them.
Yeah, he's like shooting pictures of wildlife and listening to him with his... He seems very chill. Like he's living his best life, and these fuckers come in with a helicopter, and he's pissed. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I would be too. So, an understandably upset Mark tells us that the device that the Mercs were after was created by him and Emma in prototype form, but they destroyed it. And I guess Emma decided to rebuild it because...
She thought it could help.
What, help what? Play God?
What? A human wanting to play God? No.
Paging Dr. Malcolm. Paging Dr. Malcolm. People want Mothra's iPod so fucking bad right now. It's not looking good for humanity.
Did it ever look good for humanity?
It's never looked good for humanity.
That's what I thought. So, so Mark warns that using this device could be catastrophic, but they tell him they have to get it back. And if they find it, they'll find his family. Yeah, because things are always nice and easy. But now we find out what the device, the Orca, is. It does anyway. It uses the combination of the biofrequencies that these giants emit to attract them or repel them or even calm them down. And I'm sure that this won't backfire in any way, shape, or form.
Definitely not. It's a Titan iPod filled with Death Cab for Cutie and all the sad boy bands that we could ever hope for.
We also find out that there are 17 of these monsters and counting. Most of them are either hibernating or contained by Monarch somehow. So now we're in this enormous undersea bunker where Monarch tracks Godzilla. And the team is being briefed on the mission at hand. But Mark interrupts to tell them,
Sounds like a duck hunt to me.
he thinks that the Mercs are using Mothra as a diversion to their real goal so they can go after something bigger. Yeah, I'm sure the only civilian in the room knows more than the entire team of scientists and military personnel.
After he's been fucking off for however many years.
Right.
And he just shows up telling all these high-level military people exactly what they should be doing and also that they're stupid. Hit at parties, that guy.
Ballsy. So now we're with the Merc team, Emma and Madison, as they break into the Antarctica base of Monarch. And this team is like 8 Mercs, but they somehow kill like 100 fucking people.
I don't know how, but whatever.
So now we see what the Mercs are after. It's a giant 3-headed dragon thing trapped in ice. Yeah.
Ice Dragon. To the rescue?
No.
Monster Zero.
It's pronounced nightmare. As the team and Emma get to work on drilling into the ice, we see Mark watching home movies of his family when everything starts shaking at the base. The entire Monarch team is getting ready to fire on the approaching Godzilla underwater. And Dr. Serizawa is trying to get the military to hold their fire, and Mark backs him up.
We don't know he'll attack.
He will if you keep those guns on him. Unless this is a fight that you know that you can win. For God's sake, stand down.
Smart.
Fair enough.
So the military people stand down, and this immediately calms Godzilla down.
He's also lit up. Like he's showing out right now. LED Zilla up in the house, doing a swim by, flexing on the hose. I see you.
Flexing on these hoes. So thanks to Mark's advice, Godzilla turns and leaves. But not before a Top Gun style flyby. Of course. I bet there isn't a clean pair of drawers in that room. So they run a course projection to find out where he's going, and they see that he's headed straight for Antarctica. And the team is like, oh, fuck. And yeah, me too. So now we get a sort of explanation of what Monster Zero is.
It seems to be another apex predator. It may have been a rival alpha to Godzilla, battling for dominance over the other titans.
So now the military enter the base and get ambushed by the Mercs. You didn't see that? Okay, great.
Surprise.
Mark can't sit idly by, and he runs in to save his family. So he grabs a pistol off of a dead guy and gets to his family. But there's a weird hesitation. They don't want to go with him. Fucking why?
This felt like the end of the movie, but what's really weird is what happened next.
Which is, suddenly, Emma grabs the detonator and... Fucking Emma blows the ice. I'm so confused right now.
Dude, why would you hit the button when you're on the scaffolding next to the giant glacier you're blowing up? What the fuck are you doing?
So Emma, Madison, and the Mercs take off in an elevator, and Mark takes off after them in a different elevator. But he has to turn back for some of the military personnel because he's not a scumbag. Which, do I agree with? I'm a little shell-shocked.
I know, Mark kind of sucks, but also good for him.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not like full-blown Team Mark here. He's
better than Team Emma.
That's true. Fuck her.
In the Merc plane, Madison says that they can't leave Mark there, and the head Merc is like,
Wake it up.
No, don't do that. What on earth? So as the base collapses into the ice and the team is running from the collapse, Emma fucking wakes up the nightmare monster, Monster Zero.
Of course.
So this bitch is in on it.
I hate this.
Great. So now Monster Zero is awake and is just fucking everything up, killing so many people.
I didn't realize it had 3 heads when it was in the ice. Like I couldn't exactly make out what was going on. But now that it comes to life and has 3 heads, I was like, no.
Get us the hell out of here!
But Mark and the Monarch crew finally get on a plane chopper, and before they can...
Plane chopper?
Yeah.
Wait, did you mean to say that?
Yeah, it's a plane/chopper.
I mean, I guess you're right, actually. It looks all fucking weird. It doesn't...
It's a plane chopper.
Plane chopper. I'm on board with Team Plane Chopper.
So before they could take off, Monster Zero shoots electricity at them because of course it fucking does.
Yeah.
And it grounds them, so they can't take off.
Oh, shit.
So Monster Zero starts attacking the Monarch plane chopper thing and is about to fucking destroy it when Godzilla to the rescue, which is a weird sentiment, but let's go with it. So Godzilla and Monster Zero start to battle, knocking around the team in their chopper plane, causing them to evacuate the plane just before it falls into the ice.
And the music kicks in big time here. This is when I really noticed the score. And it's perfectly like cheesy over the top monster movie score. It was cool.
So Godzilla fires off its famous beam of blue energy, and Monster Zero dodges before shooting electricity at him, sending him down into the ice. So right as Monster Zero is approaching the team, Monarch's flight crew starts firing missiles at it, and Godzilla reappears, both of which cause Monster Zero to take flight.
Bye, ya.
Bitch, bye. Smash cut to the team tracking Godzilla and Monster Zero and arguing about whether or not Emma really pulled the detonator trigger. So, as they're arguing, Mark says,
It was Emma. It was her. No one forced her to.
Mark confirms the plot twist that still has my head spinning.
And Mark might have been pissed when Godzilla stepped on his son, but after saving his ass, Mark is kind of a Godzilla stan at this point.
Not yet, he's not. They realize that Emma has actually teamed up with Jonah, the head merc guy, to release all of the Titans. You finally caught up to us, the audience. About time. So Godzilla, Emma, and the Monarch crew all head over to Isla de Mara when Emma video calls them to explain her evil plan.
I'm saving the world. We are the infection. The Earth unleashed a fever to fight this infection. Its original and rightful rulers, the Titans.
I get Emma's rationale, but you didn't think about running it by anybody before just unleashing these monsters and brutally killing everyone you used to know?
Yeah.
Like, the planet's got a planet, sure, right. But maybe something a little more gradual could be nice.
It's a fair point, sir. So the entire Monarch crew is rightfully super pissed at this plan.
You are out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah.
So after a low blow from Mark about how this won't bring back their son, Emma urges everyone to find the hidden Monarch bunkers around the world and take refuge. And I gotta say, I'd be on the first plane to one. Fuck all this fighting shit. I'll sit this one the fuck out.
Yeah, me too.
So now they figure out that Emma isn't actually at Isla de Mara and that she is setting free another Titan.
Dig.
At the same time, with the mercs, we find out that Emma came to Jonah and this whole thing was her plan.
Even bigger dick.
So the Titan erupts from a volcano. Mountain?
Lava hill.
Lava hill. Regardless, it's a literal fire pterodactyl. Like its wings are basically made of embers. A fire falcon would have been a cooler name, but whatever.
Whatever.
So they figure out that Monster Zero is headed towards Isla de Mara. So now Mark suggests luring the fire demon away from the city towards Monster Zero so they can fight without killing people. Well, killing any more people.
Dead humans litter the earth at this point already.
Mm-hmm. And the fire demon takes the bait, chasing the team and still killing a bunch of people just by flying too close to the ground. So not really helpful. Anyway, but as they close in on Monster Zero, the fire demon just starts destroying all of the jets that are accompanying the main big-ass plane, including doing a fucking barrel roll like Crash Bandicoot.
There's some cool stuff in there in terms of like the acrobatics they're doing. Aerobatics?
Aerobatic.
God, I suck at words this episode. I don't know what to call anything. My life has been turned upside down.
Flip turned upside down?
I was going to say it, and I didn't want to go there, and here we are. Fucking get me out of this.
So,
if anybody's listening, get me out of this episode.
So the team narrowly avoids Monster Zero by diving and then narrowly avoids the ocean by pulling back up. How there's anyone left on that plane that hasn't fucking shit themselves is beyond me. Now Monster Zero fucking punts the fire demon into the ocean, and right as it turns its attention back on the Monarch plane, the crew gets an incoming call from a high-ranking military official telling them to evacuate because
we have been developing a prototype for a new weapon. An oxygen destroyer designed to exterminate all life forms within a 2-mile radius.
Excuse you? So anyway, the plan is to hit Monster Zero with the already incoming missile. But as it approaches, Monster Zero closes in on the plane.
Oh, God.
Godzilla's back, baby! Let's fucking go!
Fight, fight, fight!
So Godzilla starts smacking around Monster Zero in the ocean. Like, he's kicking the shit out of this Titan.
Yeah.
Like, he bites one of its 3 heads off. But then the missile fucking hits. Now, literally all of the sea creatures start plopping up to the surface before Monster Zero fucking pops out of the fucking ocean completely unfazed.
Bro, fuck your oxygen bomb. But glad you killed our beloved Godzilla.
Yeah.
fighter of justice in the American way.
So Godzilla flatlines. Well, that's it. We're fucked.
See ya.
And then, if that wasn't bad enough, Monster Zero's third head fucking grows back.
Yeah, that sucks about him.
No, that's dope. Super cool. Not at all horrifying. So then, Monster Zero screeches out, and it wakes up all the other Titans.
Off to a bad start.
We're only halfway through this movie, and there's already no hope.
Off to a bad middle.
So now we're with Mothra in its cocoon, right? And then it erupts into a beautiful blue winged Titan. Woohoo! Back up!
Mothra went from cute, if not sluggy, to fucking horrifying really quick.
Really? You thought it was horrifying?
I'm scared of a lot of things, Dave.
Cool. Well, either way, I'm sure a giant moth will beat a 3-headed monster demon and all its minions, right?
It's a real Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson situation.
Yeah. So now we're with Madison as she's storming off to her room, yelling at her mom about what's happening.
You said that you were going to be careful, that you'd release them one at a time, that you would restore balance.
They were going to take over Monarch and kill the Titans. I didn't have a choice.
Bullshit.
Agreed. That is bullshit. Your mom is just a villain. And not a very good one either. So now the crew is trying to figure out why the oxygen destroyer didn't affect Monster Zero. And honestly, fucking same.
Y'all fucked up. Get some giant-ass defibrillators or something and bring that motherfucker back to life.
So after some discussion, they figure out that Monster Zero isn't actually from this world.
Well, you mean an alien?
Yes, Mark, a fucking alien. I totally knew that the whole time. I'm definitely not learning it with you. As the crew gets back to the main undersea base, we find out the Titans are basically destroying the whole planet. So almost as if letting them out was a bad idea, no?
Maybe somebody should have thought about that. Maybe somebody should have consulted somebody. What the fuck do I know?
So now Mark is telling the main military general guy that these Titans are not acting at random like they thought. They're acting as if they're part of a pack and Monster Zero is the alpha. We figure out that Godzilla is the only shot that they have at beating Monster Zero. At the same time, Emma is trying to tell Jonah that they have to change course, but he's not having any of it because he's a pansy who doesn't even want to try.
It's true.
But as Emma tells him her new plan, Madison hears the whole thing and is like, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. Let me just fucking do it. Oh, I guess I should probably tell you what the plan is. To use Fenway Park to amplify the Orca machine to try and get the Titans to stop attacking the cities that they're currently destroying.
Yeah, it makes sense. The Red Sox aren't doing anything there. Sorry.
You know what? Fuck Boston. So
fuck Boston, but also fuck the Yankees.
Now we see Mark trying to leave to go find Madison, but as he gets on the plane chopper, he sees a bright light that pushes away all the rain. It's fucking Mothra, bitches!
What?
Still not sure exactly how she's going to help, but I'm excited. So suddenly Mark is back in the compound because apparently he can teleport, and the whole crew is just in awe of Mothra. They realize the sounds she's making is like a song, and only one creature can understand it.
They're like soulmates, except one of them's dead.
But wait, there's more! Godzilla is still alive and is replying weakly to Mothra, but they can't track him because the signal is too weak. So then suddenly, Mark has an idea. He asks how many nukes they have because they can help him. What are they going to do, feed him the nukes?
Dude, they're literally going to use nukes as defibrillators.
Yeah, not at all a very stupid plan.
I'm on board.
So Monarch's plan is to lure Monster Zero away from the mainland while Mark and the smaller crew go to help Godzilla in a submarine.
Of course.
Now we're with Madison as she steals the Orca machine and heads to Fenway Park. At the same time, the crew's submarine gets sucked into a weird sea tunnel, and on the other side, they pop out right in front of a giant underwater city.
Looks Egyptian. No, this is something different. This is way older.
Come on, just call it what it is, okay? It's Atlantis, you fucking assholes.
Don't tease us like this. You're all just showing us everything in this movie anyway, so just tell us.
Right. So back at Fenway, Madison sneaks into the announcer booth and plugs the Orca into the PA system and turns it on, cranking the volume all the way up. Suddenly, the submarine has to stop because the radiation levels are way too high to continue forward. So they push the probes further, but they all glitch out as they spot Godzilla's pointy backplates. And then we get the cheesiest line of this entire movie.
Oh my God, Zilla.
It got a chuckle out of me because Bradley Whitford says it, and he's really great. He can deliver any cheesy bit of line with that little bit of like irony and sarcasm that sells it.
You may have laughed, but I almost facepalmed my hand straight through my skull. So they realize that Godzilla is down here regenerating, but the process could take years. So they have to proceed as planned. But something else is going wrong. As if this wasn't hard enough, the weapon system on the sub was damaged in the crash through the tunnel. So they have to walk the goddamn nuke to Godzilla. And Dr. Shirazawa steps up.
I got
What the hell does that mean?
Hey, you know what? Better him than me, because I'd still be holed up in one of the bunkers somewhere.
I don't really know. I fell asleep during this part, so wake me up when the monsters come back to fight.
But now we're back with the main crew as they're fighting off the Titans when they realize that the Titans have stopped fighting. Madison's hijacking of Emma's plan is working. The Titans are all docile and heading towards Fenway from around the globe.
Boston really needs this, by the way.
I agree. So everyone is saying their goodbyes to Dr. Shirazawa. He walks the nuke up like a bajillion stairs and sets it down just yards from Godzilla's face. Shirazawa then takes off his mask and walks right up to Godzilla, putting his bare hand on Godzilla's snout and says in Japanese, "Goodbye, old friend." And then the nuke erupts as the submarine resurfaces to the ocean.
It's a nice moment. I'm just surprised when Dr. Shirazawa touched Godzilla, he just didn't turn into a giant tumor right then and there.
So the crew emerges from the submarine, and Godzilla's glowing backplates emerge from the water, and then he comes out and shoots off a giant energy beam into the sky before setting eyes on the crew. And everyone starts to back up in fear when Mark yells,
Nobody move!
Godzilla's back, baby. I'm awake again.
"Oh, hey, welcome back, Blake." And Godzilla seems satisfied with nobody moving, I guess, and turns and dives back into the water. "Wait, dude, where are you going? We need you."
He's hungry.
And he's like, "Nah, fuck you guys."
He's gotta stop by Taco Bell.
So now Mark and the crew snap back into action, right? They formulate yet another fucking plan.
A one of like 100 plans.
But this plan is to get to Boston and get Madison back. And one of the crew rightfully asks, "What about Monster Zero?" And another one is like, "Godzilla got this, bruh." And he's like, "Oh, I get it. Let him fight." And Mark goes,
No, this time we join the fight.
"Not sure what good that'll do, since the biggest, baddest weapon you have didn't even make a dent, but go off."
You've been crushed by every attempt to do anything by any of these monsters, but okay.
Right. So Emma's leaving her base to go get Maddie, but Jonah tries to stop her. But Emma switches sides again and pulls a gun on him. So they let her go. Okay, so is she good again, or...
She's conflicted. I don't like her. A billion lives lost, but cool, Emma.
So Madison realizes she's a little fucked, okay, because Monster Zero is suddenly right on top of the stadium. So she unhooks the orca from the PA, and now Monster Zero literally sees her.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit, indeed, young lady.
It's a major oh shit moment, so warranted.
Monster Zero shoots electricity beams at the building as Madison runs for her fucking life with the orca. She gets outside and tosses the orca, where Monster Zero just fucking steps on it. Well, good job, Madison.
Your mom shit the bed, but you shitted the bed.
This is why we can't have nice things. Anyway, now she's face to face with Monster Zero, and she just screams at it in a last words type situation, I guess. And as Monster Zero charges up its electricity beams, boom, a beam of blue energy knocks Monster Zero on its ass.
LED Zilla, baby.
What's great is that it's Godzilla plus the entire, probably world military flying behind him. The jets full-scale fire everything they've got in Monster Zero, and boom, Godzilla and Monster Zero run at each other and lock arms. Like fight style, not dance.
Not the time for the art of expression through dance.
But now we find out
Godzilla's radiation levels are going through the roof. We got about 12 minutes before it goes thermonuclear.
Do we always have to have three things going wrong at once?
Yes, this movie is unsatisfied with one form of conflict. It needs to be coming from all directions.
So Mark and a small crew land to go find Madison, and as the two Titans fight overhead, Mark calls out for Madison.
Mark! My guy, your whole plan to find your daughter was to land in Fenway during a giant monster battle, during a storm, while the monsters roar, things explode all around you, and you just yell out for your daughter. That's your plan. That's like being stranded on an island. You're starving, so you build a raft, you weather a storm, and you finally find land. You swim to shore, and the first thing you do is go to Chili's. Unacceptable. I do not accept this, Mark.
Please don't sue us, Chili's.
Oh, please, God.
So they find the banged up orca, which is somehow not destroyed, but whatever. And as their plane chopper gets destroyed, Mothra comes dive bombing in to help Godzilla kick Monster Zero's ass. When suddenly, the fucking fire demon attacks Mothra. God damn it!
Side note, at this point in the movie, during the giant monster battle, everything's going crazy. There was legitimately a 2.4 magnitude earthquake. Like right up the street from me, and It scared the piss out of me. It was like midnight, and I'm sitting there watching this giant monster battle, and everything starts shaking, and I'm like, oh my God. Poor timing, tectonic plates.
Oh God. So Now Emma shows up in a Humvee and picks up Mark and the small crew. They figure out that Madison went home.
If I had these two from Paris, I'd run away from home too.
Damn.
So back to the Titan fight. Godzilla is kicking the shit out of Monster Zero when it bites onto a sparking electric grid thing?
Power grid.
And it fucking powers up like a Dragon Ball Z villain. And so
it needed a power bar next to it.
So the crew retreats because Godzilla is getting closer to exploding. And that's when the fire demon pins Mothra to a building and is about to kill her when... Mothra puts her fucking stinger that I didn't know she had right through the fire demon's chest.
That was a cool reveal.
But either way, Mothra's critically injured here. Now we're with Mark and Emma screaming for Madison amongst a bunch of rubble. And they find her unconscious in a bathtub.
That happens to me often.
So as they get her out and try and wake her, she does that dumbass movie thing where she gasps back to consciousness.
Dial it down like a couple percentage points.
Right. So now, Monster Zero fucking picks up Godzilla and drops him from the upper atmosphere.
It was... That was the ultimate flex.
Right. But you know what it felt like to me? It felt like one of those martial arts finishing moves that was held back for no reason.
Yeah.
Godzilla is in like severe pain when Mothra flies at Monster Zero, who fucking obliterates her with his electric beam.
Vaporizes her.
Vaporizes. And I'm like, no, Mothra! Take Emma, but not Mothra. So Mothra's radiation falls down onto Godzilla, who just lays there yelling. Probably going, fuck, that hurts. I don't know. I don't speak Zillanese. So now Mark and Emma repair the Orca to distract Monster Zero long enough for Godzilla to get back on his feet.
Yeah, I'm glad they could rewire the electronics in the rain, but go on.
Right. Good point. I didn't even think about that. But, you know, honestly, Godzilla desperately needs it because Monster Zero has him wrapped up like a fucking snake and is just biting him all over.
It's true.
And as the plane chopper lands to pick everyone up, Emma makes another executive decision and takes off with the Orca to pull Monster Zero away from Godzilla and her family at the same time.
Yeah.
She's sacrificing herself.
Dude, why is everyone hellbent on sacrificing themselves in this movie?
You know what? I don't know, but at least with Emma, it's the least she could do.
It's true, but everybody's practically tripping over themselves to die.
Would you want to live in a world with Titans?
No, actually, for real, kill me.
So Emma takes off with the Orca and the Humvee, and Monster Zero catches up to her because no shit.
I'm sorry, dude. I have to do it. I told myself I wouldn't do it. She's out driving lightning breath and falling buildings like a certain other franchise, which shall not be named, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I refuse to say the name of it.
Anyway, so the Humvee flips, and Emma rolls over onto her back, looking Monster Zero straight in his dumb faces, and says,
"Long live the king."
Now, thermonuclear Godzilla approaches, glowing red, melting everything around him. He erupts a huge burst of radiation, frying Monster Zero's wings.
This is Godzilla's fire force field ball. This thing had me laughing so fucking loud. The visual of it and the sound like mixed is hilarious. Just like...
I didn't even think about it that way. I actually kind of liked it.
It was hilarious.
Right. So then Monster Zero shoots electricity beams at Godzilla, and Godzilla's like, the fuck off me, bro. He erupts another radiation burst, melting 2 of the Monster Zero's heads before stepping on its body, and then Godzilla promptly explodes. As the humans are looking on, the rubble erupts, and from it, Monster Zero's head emerges. Fuck! What the hell? Psych! It's Godzilla, who has the head in his mouth and then obliterates it with his energy beam.
I didn't know Godzilla had a sense of humor, but the boy does.
Now, all of the Titans approach, and they bow.
Dude, Godzilla isn't the king of monsters. He's the Beyonce of monsters. Bow down, bitches.
So Godzilla looks around at all of them as the crew flies off into the distance. He lets out one final famous scream before the credits roll.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I had only seen one, maybe 2 other Godzilla films, but yeah, I had not seen any other ones, including the one that is the precursor to this movie.
It was nice to dive into this, and even though it was a sequel, I felt like it didn't rely too much on having seen the previous movie to understand what's happening here.
Yeah.
Which I thought was actually really good.
Yeah.
As soon as we started this and I saw it was a sequel, I was like, fuck you, Dave. God damn it, dude. What are you doing to me?
I don't know, man.
We made it here. We did it.
I mean, I thought it was cool. I didn't love all of the fucking Titans, because I think Godzilla should be the focus, but what do I know?
You know what I am excited to talk about, though? I'm really excited to talk about Cloverfield.
Oh, dude, me too. Let's fucking get to it then.
Movie 2, Cloverfield, 2008.
Let's get into Cloverfield. Hit me with the synopsis.
Through the lens of a video camera with astonishingly clear sound quality, a group of friends follow one man through Manhattan to help him win back the girl of his dreams. Oh, and there's a giant monster destroying the city. How far will one man go to get laid one last time?
So we start this thing off with some archive text on screen telling us what we're about to watch. It's a tape featuring multiple sightings of a case designated Cloverfield. This is a found footage film. There's no traditional camera work or anything. This is just somebody's video camera that they captured this stuff on. It's all downhill from here. So we finally get some footage where a guy is filming this girl, Beth, her dad's swanky apartment in New York, and it kind of feels like a snuff film waiting to happen.
Yeah.
He walks into the room where Beth sleeps.
Naked, by the way.
Yeah. And surprisingly, he doesn't kill her. But he just wakes her up.
Aw.
The guy filming, his name is Rob.
Yeah.
And we have some cuts of them being cute and flirty together, but ultimately, the point of their day is to go see Coney Island.
Yes.
Oh, how have you never been to Coney Island?
I've never been.
Again, keep in mind, this is cutting around to different things because this is supposed to just be a tape that's played beginning to end of what's on it. That's all we're getting. Based on the timestamp on the footage, that was April. And now we jump to late May, where we meet two other people. Jason, who holds the camera like he's actually trying to make me puke, and Jason's girlfriend, Lily. So it's Jason and Lily, and they're picking up supplies for a party that night, and Jason complains about having to lug the camera around and film everybody.
Yeah, and he clearly doesn't even know how to use the camera, which is hilarious.
Exactly.
I want you to go around with your brother's camera and get testimonials from everyone.
As it turns out, Jason is Rob's brother, and they're throwing him a going-away party before he moves to Japan. Mm-hmm. This is Rob's camera, and they want to film his friends wishing him goodbye.
Right.
So they get to Rob's place and continue setting up the party where our resident shitty boyfriend, Jason, manipulates his even dumber friend, Hud, played by TJ Miller in his first film appearance, to film all night instead.
You're going to take the camera and just, go around the party and film people wishing Rob good luck.
So HUD is going to film everybody and get the testimonials while Jason can fuck off and get drunk.
HUD really is very stupid.
Very stupid. It's funny and I appreciate it at times, but it is awkward as fuck to start.
And speaking of awkward, when HUD fucking keeps zooming in on the girl he likes.
Oh, we're going to get there. We get a couple testimonials from people that HUD films, but it's really focused on this other girl, Marlena, played by Lizzie Kaplan.
Hey, so we're taping people talking about it.
Oh, no, thank you.
She's very clearly put off by HUD, who can't take a hint.
Right.
And who wouldn't be put off by him, but she indulges him with a quick soundbite so he'll just go away. His brand of desperation legitimately makes my skin crawl, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody likes that guy.
Right.
So Rob finally comes home and is surprised by all the guests, and I have to admit that the found footage presentation here kind of like it sucked me in. I started college around the time this movie came out, and someone always had a camera recording things.
Right.
I pray to God that footage is long gone, though.
I pray to God that it surfaces.
Dude, nobody wants to see me shit-faced in my underwear, sticky and covered in streamers, and...
Oh, well, I was there, so...
It happened a lot, Dave.
I remember one time where I think you were upset about something, and next thing you know, apparently you're in your underwear sprinting down the street.
Which time? I'm a mess. Anyway, back to the movie, where it does start to feel like a college party because drama ensues.
Drama!
Beth, hey! You made it!
So, do you remember Beth from the beginning?
The naked one, yeah.
Yes, that one. Well, she's here now, but she's with another guy, and it's awkward.
Yeah, my whole body is in awkward mode.
We also find out that the tape they've been filming on, and the tape that we're seeing everything from, was Rob's tape that he had filmed himself of him and Beth going to Coney Island, and that's why we're getting little blips of them in between these scenes when people start and stop the camera.
It's like a train wreck.
So I guess no one knows Beth and Rob were briefly together, so HUD makes it his creepy-ass mission to get to the bottom of why Rob feels so down.
Jason, there's something totally weird going on with Rob and Beth.
HUD and Jason browbeat Lily into telling them about Rob and Beth sleeping together, which is fucking gross feeling.
Yeah.
And then HUD proceeds to tell everyone at the party.
They're like, don't tell anyone. And the literal first thing HUD does is tell everyone.
And film himself telling everybody. Right. What the fuck are you doing, dude? At least they set up that he's stupid, so I believe that he would film himself doing this.
Yeah, but it still feels like junior high.
It's terrible.
It's me, HUD from before. Did you know that Rob and Beth had sex? Rob's been in love with her since college.
So Beth and her new guy leave the party while Rob sits out on the fire escape getting a pep talk from Jason.
He does a real shit job.
It's terrible.
She's crazy about you, bro. And going to Japan is not going to fix that. But you got to go after her. It's not that simple.
And amidst all the drama, I remember that we're in a monster movie.
Perfectly timed earthquake.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Nobody knows exactly what it is.
Right.
On the news, they say,
of a possible earthquake in lower Manhattan.
Even if that was just an earthquake, you get the hell out of Manhattan.
But instead, everyone to the roof. Look for the bat signal. Quake signal.
There's got to be some sort of visual indicator. I don't know. They are up there trying to get a better look at what's going on, I guess, because you're supposed to be able to see earthquakes. I don't know. Explosions start firing off, and of course, everybody runs out of the building.
Finally.
The head of the Statue of Liberty hurtles itself down the street and comes to a stop.
What?
Yeah. Everybody starts taking pictures, and that's kind of exactly what I think would happen still today. But there'd probably be more live streams and twerking. No hate.
Twerking the Statue of Liberty.
So buildings tumble around them, and we get a tiny glimpse of our monster, and he's fucking huge, dude.
Gigantic.
Like, one glimpse of that thing, and I'm gone. I have no attachments at that point, just survival. That includes you, Dave. I'm sorry.
You could say that, but you'd be looking right next to you, make sure I was there. Not because you care, but because you know I'd help you get out of it.
It's true. You're much stronger than I am.
Yeah.
So Jason actually has the right idea.
Right? We don't know what we saw. The point is, it's still here. All right? So we get the hell out of Manhattan.
Yay to people in movies making smart decisions.
Right.
About time.
Finally.
So they get to the Brooklyn Bridge and begin crossing out of Manhattan.
Yeah, wait, why does everything happen in Manhattan, by the way?
I mean, I get it. It's a big city. It's one of the biggest cities in the world, but it also the epicenter of that city happens to be on an island. So if bad things happen there, you can't fucking get out.
So just don't be in Manhattan.
Ever.
Yeah.
Noted. So what I like about this movie is we actually get justification on why somebody's continuing to film this whole thing while a terrible event's happening. HUD is the one still with the camera,
yes.
And he's the one who's going to be carrying the camera for most of the movie.
You still filming? Yeah, people need to see this, you know? This is going to be important.
I appreciate that, though, with found footage films, too, because most of them, I'm like, drop the camera and run! But, like, they actually find realistic justifications for continuing to shoot this whole thing, which keeps it immersive. Especially for HUD, because we know this thing is the most exciting experience that's ever happened to this dude, and he'll want to show every Marlena he meets in the future.
For sure.
Lived through this.
Key point.
Now, miraculously, Rob gets cell service, and he gets a call from Beth.
Beth, what do you mean you can't move?
She's hurt, and she can't move. But before the call can go any further, the bridge shakes.
Yeah.
The monster is here, and he's not paying any tolls today. He smashes the bridge, and Jason takes a fat-ass tentacle to the dome.
He's dead as fuck!
He's so dead, and everybody has to run back into Manhattan.
But also, are these people outrunning a falling bridge?
It fell in sections. They made it
People
work
are
for
outrunning
me.
a falling bridge, Blake.
I'm not going to say it.
It's F9!
We're off track. Now it's just the four of them. HUD behind the camera, Rob, Lily, and Marlena. People are looting an electronics store nearby, and in his grief, I guess Rob decides he wants a new flat screen to soften the blow of his brother's death, so he takes off inside the store with HUD following behind.
Right, but like, looters. Really? What are you going to do with all the stuff you're going to get with that giant monster destroying the city?
They have no idea what's going on.
No clue.
Oh, where's he going? Where are you going?
In the electronics store, we see more of the monster on the news, and I guess it's pregnant or like shedding these smaller attack babies. Like, dude, they flood the streets and start ripping into soldiers on TV, while outside, past the electronics store, military vehicles come roaring through the streets. It's a full-scale assault, dude.
Oh my god, the military. This scene is fucking intense, dude.
And again, this is first-person view, so we're seeing this all, and it puts you there.
Right.
Anyway, Rob emerges with a phone where he listens to a voicemail or something from Beth. How this works, I have literally no idea.
No idea.
But I'm bought into the movie so far, so fuck it. Let's keep going, because Rob has a new mission, Dave. It's not to get out of New York. It's to save Beth, the love of his life.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Rob, listen, you gotta think this through, man.
Guys, this is insane.
All 4 of them, though, decide to stay together. That's what's stupid.
Yeah.
And they help Rob instead of leaving because I guess they have no sense of self-preservation or personal identity whatsoever.
Yep.
But if they can help get Rob laid one last time, maybe they'll feel better about their impending deaths.
These are the real heroes here, the wingman and woman.
These are literally the ride or dies.
Mm-hmm.
They get caught in the middle of a firefight, though, between the military and the monster, and they escape into a subway tunnel where we finally get a chance to come up for air in all this insanity.
However, the silence in this subway is way scarier than what's going on top.
Dude, it's so freaky. You hear just like little bits of like rumbles and stuff from above, but now that you're immersed in the silence, it's frightening.
Very frightening.
Rob gets a call from his mom on this burner phone where he has to tell her about his brother Jason.
We were right there when it hit. Jason's dead.
Hey mom, yeah, remember when Jason almost choked to death on that squid when we were kids? Well, it came back to finish the job. After sitting around for a while, they have no idea what to do, and Hud awkwardly tries to connect with Marlena.
Why is he so bad at it?
Let it go, bro.
Fucking stop, dude. What do you think? You're going to get laid in the middle of this?
No, what's the end game here?
I don't know.
They decide to just walk through the subway tunnels using the light from the camera because love can't stop Rob. Come hell or high monster, Dave.
Walk the tunnels. No. That's a whole lot of nope from me, dog.
Have you ever seen any movie where being in a tunnel actually pays off and doesn't lead to death?
Never. Not once.
While they walk down the tunnels, Hud also postulates on how the monster came to be.
Yeah, read the tunnel, dude.
For all we know, it's from another planet and it flew here.
Like Superman?
You know who Superman is?
You know who Superman is?
Okay, I'm
Oh, I'm like feeling so. Are you aware of Garfield?
Dude, Marlena clapping back is what I needed.
Yes.
Now, I guess the Pied Piper is somewhere close because hundreds of rats run past them like they're fleeing from something.
This is disgusting.
They're all running in the same direction. I feel like you're running away.
Remember those baby monsters, Dave? The Clover babes?
Clover
yes. Juniors? I don't know. Well, they're here, and don't be confused by my sexy name. They are horrifying, dude. They attack our gang, who fight them off with whatever they can find in the tunnel.
Right.
One of them bites Marlena, but they escape into some sort of, like, access room or something.
Right, and we get another scene of Hud being a complete moron to Marlena.
Oh, it's so weird.
I'm starting to think he might not get the girl.
We'll see. Everyone is looking pretty worse for wear and unsure of where to go.
So our options are die here, die in the tunnels, or die in the streets. Is that pretty much?
Very concise, Hud. You finally got something right.
About fucking time. They go out and enter some kind of department store where they're met by armed military men. Turns out they walked into the most convenient triage center that
of course.
ever existed.
In the middle of a Kohl's.
I guess the Kohl's had a subway entrance. Meanwhile, though, Marlena's taken a turn for the worse. So as they walk, they get a little update from the military guy.
Our friend, she's hurt. She's trapped in her building right by here at Columbus Circle.
Yeah, that is not where you want to be right
Do
now.
you guys know what it is?
Whatever it is, it's winning.
Not the words I was hoping to hear.
No.
But I appreciate a man who gives it to me straight.
Honesty is the best policy.
It's true. Now the military has orders to clear the center and get everyone out, but our friends aren't having it. Rob has to save his lady friend in Columbus Circle.
Yeah, he got to get that booty.
Rob's trying to touch some butts tonight, dog.
There is nothing I can do about
that.
that
I love
now.
more than anything is dying, and it's my fault. But we're gonna go after her, and if you want to stop me, then you can have a shoot.
Before anything else can happen, Marlena starts bleeding from her eyes and nose, and a nurse recognizes her as having been bitten.
I don't feel so good.
They drag Marlena into this tent thing, and I'm not sure what happens here.
She explodes.
Well, that's what I was wondering. She looks like she just fucking explodes.
She just
but-
exploded.
Okay, I thought she exploded.
Yeah, she
confirmed for exploded. Either way, there are now 3 of them. Lily, Hud, who's filming, and Rob. They're all pulled away by militarized exposition commander. He tells them that he's not going to stop them from leaving, but there's something they should know.
The government's considering the hammer down protocol, which means they're willing to let this whole area go.
You mean Midtown?
No, I mean Manhattan.
He also tells them that the last chopper out of the city is at 6 a.m., so they have to hurry if they're going to get Beth and make it out alive.
Yeah, and not get nuked.
Shit. That's not Beth's place, is it?
So they get to Columbus Circle and we see Beth's building.
It's just tipped the fuck over.
It's literally leaning on another building, like the monster was playing Jenga and got bored halfway through and just left. So Beth lives way up on the 39th floor, and HUD comes through with a suggestion to get into Beth's Tim Burton-esque building.
Maybe we could try going up the other building and then see if there's a place to cross over under a roof.
Someone's about to get their steps in today.
I love how HUD's like, that's a bad idea, I'll take that back. It's just like definitely something you would say. Like you'd have like a great idea and regret it instantly.
So for some reason, they're surprised that the elevators aren't working, so they have to walk up 59 floors. I'm sorry, my heart cannot take that, and Beth is probably dead anyway, so good luck, guys.
But also, it's like, I'm going to shit my pants in this stairwell. It's just super relatable, actually.
Been there. So our trio crosses onto the other building, and they get into Beth's apartment, where they find her impaled through the chest with rebar.
God damn it.
Rob gives her a light little shake, like, hey girl, you dead or just playing possum? It's possum. She was playing possum. She is alive still.
Well, just put a Band-Aid on it. She'll be fine.
Rob, you came back for me.
Of course I came back for you.
Are we supposed to be feeling romance here or something?
I'm feeling the love, Dave.
Okay.
So they do what any good friends would do, and they just rip her off the rebar.
Which, like, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that.
No.
Like, aren't you supposed to leave the impaled object in the impalee?
I mean, I guess to be fair, you can't take a building with you when you
I know,
take her.
but
But
what I'm saying is she's going to bleed out and die in a matter of seconds.
Probably, but we're about to find out.
Yeah.
Because outside, the monster roars and gets closer, so they help the injured Beth, and they fucking bail. Remember, they have to make it to the helicopter before 6 a.m. Dave.
Oh, God.
So we just cut. I guess they ran down 60 fucking flights of stairs or something.
Right.
And once they hit the street, everything is exploding, and we see more of the monster. If you pause the movie, it kind of looks like a video game, but again, honestly, I've been brought into this world, and I'm fine with it. Plus now, apparently, Beth isn't injured anymore, and she's just fucking running full tilt.
Full scale.
It's probably the adrenaline, but still, we just saw her limping her ass along. Now, they make it to the choppers, and Lily is stuffed into one without the other three, and they take off, and that's the last we ever see or hear from her, which
Right.
is a fitting end for her character because they didn't give her anything to do, man.
No, she was just there.
This whole time, like, she didn't contribute to much or really even have a character arc after Jason died.
She probably should have just died with Jason, to be honest.
They could have done something with her. Now, another helicopter lands and picks up Rob, Beth, and HUD, and we are airborne, baby, escaping from New York. From the helicopter, we do see that monster a little bit more. It's wreaking havoc on the city. Fighter jets are dropping bombs on it, and HUD gives us a little commentary.
Are you guys seeing this shit right now? Oh my God!
The monster takes like a ton of firepower and goes down. It's defeated.
Yay! Nope.
It leaps up from the smoke cloud and smacks their helicopter out of the air like a toy. The camera angle, though, and the sound are harrowing because we are with them as they spin and crash to the ground in Central Park.
Yeah, and somehow the camera is just unscathed.
Miraculously.
And HUD
still on.
is fine again?
HUD, Beth, and Rob are all alive somehow, but they're not out of the clear yet because the monster is right there.
Somehow.
It just is. I don't know. Whatever. We're getting to that because HUD looks up at the monster. We see him film it, and then boom, camera falls. HUD is dead. Not exactly sure how he died, but we hear the noise and we see him fall to the ground. Now, Rob and Beth take off with the camera and huddle under a bridge in the park, and sirens ring out. This is the warning that the military is going to carpet bomb the city and take everything out.
Right.
It's the end, so Rob and Beth record themselves one last time.
If you found this tape, I mean, if you're watching this right now, then you probably know more about it than I do.
I don't know why this is happening.
With that, the bombs start going off. Debris and rubble fly everywhere.
Yeah, right before that, Rob and Beth are like, I love you. I love you. And then boom, which, yeah, that feels about how love is. Anyway.
The tape cuts to the footage that they had previously recorded over.
Yeah.
It's Rob and Beth's day at Coney Island.
We got like 3 seconds left.
What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Last thing to the king.
I had a good day.
Roll credits, baby.
Jesus, man.
What a wonderful bookend. Honestly,
Yeah.
I like that we kind of went back to the Coney Island thing.
I like that everybody dies.
Fun fact, too, this movie, minus credits, is 80 minutes long, which is the length of a mini DV tape, which was the common camera format at the time. And I thought that was really clever.
That is very clever.
Right? And I would know because I have a fucking shoebox full of mini DV tapes in my closet. Like, this was early in the found footage craze of the late, 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of found footage movies didn't need to be told that way, or were only told in that way because it was cheap and low effort to make. But this story, I think, definitely needed to be told that way. Because it really wasn't about the monster attack, right?
No,
it's really a love story that happens during a monster attack, which is not only clever, but I think effective.
I think so, too. I agree with you.
Also, HUD's character was fun because he kept the ridiculousness tonally balanced.
Yes. He's all of us in a lot of these moments.
Yeah, this is a really well-crafted horror monster film that, if taken more seriously, would have lost its charm and fun factor, in my opinion.
No, yeah, I agree 1,000%.
So that was Cloverfield. Again, I'd never seen this movie, and I'm really kind of bummed at myself that I'd not watched it before this.
Yeah, I was shocked that you hadn't, because I could have sworn I heard that you had.
I thought I'd seen parts of this movie when we initially talked about it.
Right.
But after watching it, I realized I've never seen this movie, and I know nothing about it. So I was delighted that this was my movie.
Yeah.
I'm ready to talk some more about this in depth. See what's going on with Eva, see what she thought, see maybe if we can figure out, just perhaps, which film will be the winner of first prize.
Yeah, I'm interested to see Eva side with me, just because she's my friend, so...
You don't have to say it like that. I don't have any friends and everybody knows it, so...
Yeah, not even me. Get the fuck out of here.
Rub it in there!
Movie versus movie. Welcome to the Thunderdome. This place fucking rules.
Well, I'm a little motion sick.
It was exhausting. I'm a little bruised. My doctors have just been on call this whole season with all these movies, but this one specifically.
You were definitely helping him put in his new pool.
Oh man, my insurance rates are just gonna go through the fucking roof, dude. But here we are. Once again, we did it. We're back in the Thunderdome. As always, before we watch these movies, Dave and I decide on 5 things that we both agree make a good genre movie. In this case, monster movies.
Yeah.
So, with the help of Eva, we're going to go through these.
Yes.
So the first thing we decided, the monster design has to be solid.
These better not be inflatable flailing arm tube men.
We also have to have an apt military response.
Did we scramble the jets?
There has to be a character connection to the monster.
Did somebody wish this thing was its pet?
The monsters as metaphor. We have to find a metaphorical connection between the monsters and larger themes.
Right. Is this thing an onion dip?
And we have to, importantly, have an epic conclusion.
We talking fireworks display or bottle rocket?
Exactly. This one's going to be a little bit different because Eva's got to keep us in line. But Dave, tell us how this thing's going to go.
So normally it would just be, one of us starting and then the other one rebuttaling and going back and forth. But like Blake said, Eva's got to keep us in line. So one of us is going to go, the other one's going to respond, and then Eva is going to have her say.
I'll tell you why you're both wrong.
Exactly.
Getting some real-time feedback here. And
Perfect.
It's not going to be good for me.
So,
I'll go first. We're talking monster design. So I guess the argument could be made that in Cloverfield, since we don't see much of the monster, it could be hard to judge, but I think that's actually to its benefit. Like, we know it's fucking huge, and we also see it has claws and like a big floppy tentacle or something. It's definitely scary, and it seems to be well adapted for destruction, which are 2 things I personally think is important for a monster like this.
I'm not fully on board.
But I will say, on top of that, no matter what you say, on top of that, we also, not just the big monster, we get these little spider-like monsters, and they're terrifying, dude. It's like what spiders are like in my nightmares, and the way they move, they add a level of intensity that I really actually wasn't prepared for when I watched this thing.
Yeah, okay, that I can agree with. However, the thing that kind of made me stumble a little bit is the lungs coming out of its ears thing that it has.
I have no idea.
But with Godzilla, it's classic. You just can't go wrong with his design. It's as believable as a giant monster can be.
Yeah.
Okay, Monster Zero, on the other hand, they each have their own unique features, which really bring a lot of tension and action to the table, but...
I personally like Godzilla's LED light strip back. It's fucking cool.
That's fair. Yeah. Eva, what do you think?
So I totally agree with the radioactive effect that Godzilla has. That's pretty cool. And it definitely gave it some points.
Yeah, see?
The Cloverfield monster, I don't know what's going on with the lungs on the head or if it's his brain breathing. Either way, I still think he looks fucking awesome. I had to figure out what was happening with Godzilla because I didn't remember that he had that hyper beam move where he could I couldn't figure out what was happening. And actually when I searched it, they called it atomic breath and then they wrote which should never be confused with fire. They were insulting me for even looking it up.
Dude, I didn't know that was part of the Godzilla mythos or whatever. And so when he just starts breathing electric plasma stuff, I was like, yo!
It can do that?
Right, exactly.
I swear, I think I remember that always happening.
Again, I don't know much.
It was, 1998? When the first American one came out.
Why was it?
I don't know. Early? You probably know more than we do about the.
I think I haven't seen that one in at least 7 years. So I was still surprised by the atomic breath.
I guess I was the only one that wasn't surprised by that. Just like I'm not surprised by the military responses in these movies. For instance, in Godzilla movies, especially this one, we know that the military response is generally not going to do shit, but we know they would try in reality, and they should try.
Right.
Because
they're horrifying monsters.
Right.
Yeah.
So seeing not only all kinds of jets and missiles attacking these monsters, we also see a new type of weapon developed just to try and kill these monsters. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't work, but at least they try.
I know I said this once. I said it a million times. Monsters get their own iPods, and it calms them, it infuriates them. I relate to these monsters and the responsive weapon used for/with them against them.
I'm there. I follow.
I guess. Mm-hmm. Listen, obviously, in the world of the Godzilla movies, there's a whole group dedicated to controlling these monsters that's vaguely military-esque, right? Mm-hmm. But in Cloverfield, it's all-out annihilation time, dude.
Yeah.
By the time the military gets to Manhattan, they're trying to get the civilians out and stuff, but its main objective is blowing this monster to fucking back.
Right.
It's not working.
No,
but the level
quite.
of seriousness involved here is really clear because we're told that they're going to essentially level Manhattan with bombs. It's frightening, and it really speaks to the desperation they're facing. It was surprisingly affecting for me.
Eva?
Okay, so I'm assuming you're talking about the oxygen bomb thing that oxygen they made up. Yeah. So that didn't really do anything. Also, I didn't like how they didn't warn anyone. They were like, oh, by the way, we made this thing and it's coming your way. So that was not very cool of the military. Yeah. However, I thought it was kind of neat that in Cloverfield, they provided these people that were just partying their own chopper to escape. I was like,
totally.
That would never happen.
Oh, yeah.
I actually think they sent 2 choppers for them.
I guess that's a question I have. Maybe you could help me clear this up because I wasn't sure if it was hey, get to these choppers because there's just these general choppers they're going to be leaving, or if it's hey, we're saving these choppers for you.
That actually really makes a lot more sense.
That's what I thought it was.
One thing that I think is lacking, though, in Cloverfield, and I have to take a bit of an L here, is that it doesn't really have a personal character connection to the monster. There's no personal story between the monster and the characters.
Right.
But more so, I think, because the story doesn't really call for it, as opposed to lazy filmmaking.
Yeah.
There's a personal history in Godzilla, which I know you'll get to, but here, Rob and his crew were just trying to save Beth and get the fuck out of there. And the monster's a background character. Godzilla's more top build.
I can't believe I'm doing this, but to be 100% fair,
please,
an argument could be made that Rob has a slight connection with the monster in Cloverfield after it fucking penis tentacles his brother out of existence.
That's true. And I don't know why I'm arguing against myself, but
yeah, come on. Am I the only one that likes Cloverfield around here?
You know what? You're right. I'm not going to argue for your movie. Make your own fucking points, Dave. I'm Team Cloverfield at the moment.
All right, fine. Well, honestly, this is a no-brainer for this one because not only do Mark and Emma have a connection with Godzilla because he unalived their son.
He stepped on their child.
Is that what happened in the first movie?
We don't really know.
I have no idea. I just made that up.
I only realized halfway through the movie that the opening scene was what happened to them before. I was like, this seems like a spoiler, but it was actually
So not only does Godzilla unalive their son, the Japanese scientists also have a connection with him because he's like a legend in their culture.
Everybody has this connection to the monster in Cloverfield. It just comes out of fucking nowhere from the sea.
Well, Eva, what do you think?
First, I want to say you're completely wrong that there is no character connection in Cloverfield, but I will agree that it is not really gone over very much in the movie.
That's fair.
So the character connection, if I can describe it a little bit.
By all means.
So Rob is going to Japan to work for this company called Slusho, which is like a slushy company.
Oh, shit.
I know exactly where you're going with this. I didn't even think about this. Go on. Sorry.
You should have seen his fucking face, dude. Oh, my God. It's like the light bulb fucking turned on.
So the lore is that they were like drilling in this, his company was like drilling in the sea. And that is like what awoke the Cloverfield monster. And the reason that Cloverfield and all of the parasites are so hostile is that there's like a stimulant that they're drilling out of the sea that they're putting in their slushy, but the parasites are also feeding on the stimulant.
Oh, shit.
And that's why they're so fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore to Cloverfield I was deeply unaware of because they don't go into this in the movie.
Right. So does it count?
Well, here's the thing. It counts if Eva says it counts.
Oh, fuck. All right.
No, I'm glad you said something because there is a lot of lore with both of these movies that extends past the movies that we see immediately on screen.
Yeah.
But speaking of things that go beyond what's on screen, okay, with the monsters as metaphors, Godzilla is a metaphor for like the consequences of our actions, right? Because he's awoken by military use. And they do touch on that in this film. But with the other monsters, I feel as if that metaphor is that consequences can compound on one another if you're not careful.
No, it makes sense. And to me, this category, I think, is where the Cloverfield monster and our characters really intersect.
Okay.
Because the mysterious nature of the Cloverfield monster that we get on screen, it's ripe for metaphorical analysis. I have two ideas of where I could see this kind of going. The first being a visual metaphor for Rob's festering regret for not being with Beth. Like, regret is a raging monster that never lets up and will crush you and everyone you know and then kill you under a bridge in the park. I don't know. But on another level, on a bigger level than that, I think the Cloverfield monster, this was released in 2008, could possibly represent the fear that people of New York City were feeling in a post 9/11 landscape. I mean, we get the head of the Statue of Liberty rolling down. It's unprovoked chaos.
Okay.
So I think there could be multiple readings of it, which is what I think makes that strong.
Okay. Eva?
I've never even thought about that. That's really interesting. I'm actually a little bit surprised that there wasn't like some backlash on them for doing that.
That was my first thought when I started watching this. I was like, yo, they're really destroying the city of New York.
Do you have any more on the metaphors, Eva?
I don't know. That's kind of the one where I was like, I don't know, they're monster movies. But
that's really fair.
I also feel like just the whole parenting style in Godzilla was like awful. It was just awful.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah. Come with me on this villainous journey, daughter.
How to fuck up your kids 101.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope they saved up not only for college, but lifelong mental health.
Right? Emma is a bad mom and an even worse person.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there.
We're moving on. Not only to our next point, but our epic conclusion in the fact that these movies have epic conclusions. I bungled that. Anyway. While technically small from like a visual standpoint, right? It's a found footage film.
Yes.
The end of Cloverfield, I would say, is epic considering the complete destruction of the city, but also epic in the way that Rob finally reconciled with the love of his life, Beth. And even though they're dead as hell, like they got to die together.
Well, okay. I thought it was a little blah.
Really?
Yeah, because like, oh yeah, we're finally together, dead. And like, but also like, I don't know, fucking nuke them. That's kind of what it felt like.
I get it, but I think we get more than just the big, our characters getting nuked conclusion. We get closure of their character arcs too.
We get a conclusion. It's just not epic in my mind. It's just a conclusion.
I guess that does depend on how you define epic. I define epic as well-rounded out, big in scope, but also specific in nature.
Sounds like a lot of excuses because I define epic as epic. And I don't think... And I don't think it gets more epic than this movie, Godzilla. Godzilla already is a badass, but a thermonuclear Godzilla, he's glowing red, fucking annihilates Monster Zero and becomes the alpha of all of these titans. And on a more like satisfying level, we get what seems to be like, oh shit, Monster Zero survived. And it's actually just Godzilla eating and destroying its fucking head.
I agree. It did have an epic ending. Like to see all those monsters come out and like defeated the Monster Zero. It's huge. And I will give that to you. It is a big epic conclusion. And they're two sides of the same coin. We're seeing the ground level view of that in Cloverfield.
Yes.
Whereas we're seeing the macro in Godzilla. We're seeing that skies angle from above, but we don't see all the bodies scattered along the streets, from the ground level, which it's two very tonally different endings for sure. Yeah. But I would say they're both epic in scope.
Well, Eva, what do you think?
Okay, well, I agree that Godzilla definitely had the more like epic ending. I feel like the whole movie just took too long. Like Cloverfield did in half the time what Godzilla did.
I would agree
in
with that.
epicness. Like I felt like they were just as thrilling. I guess all of Cloverfield is the ending.
That's true. It's just one 80-minute ending.
Yeah, exactly. Also, like we're following the people that are following the monsters in Godzilla, and in Cloverfield, we're following the people who are trying to like get away from the monsters.
That's a good point. They want nothing to do with the Cloverfield monster.
Yeah, which is how the people in Godzilla should have acted, but whatever.
They might have done that in the first one. We don't know.
Yeah, this is a sequel after all.
Oops. Enough of this bullshit. Let's get to the finish line.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
Now we're talking. Let's do this.
Hey, look. We did it. It's the finish line.
We're at the finish line.
Can I go home yet?
All right.
All right, man. I say man, but actually Eva's running the show here.
That's right.
Let's get into this. I'm going to give my choice, I guess, for first prize film. Dave, I'm going to have you go next because I'm running the show for the moment. But Eva, you got to bring us home because nobody wants to hear our voices last. It's been 7 episodes. It's gone on too long. But I do have to say, I really did enjoy watching both of these movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Once I found out Godzilla was a sequel, I was like, fuck you, Dave. But I think we talked about this, but I think it stands on its own as its own film, which I really respect. And there's a lot of fun stuff in it.
Yes.
In Cloverfield, I could not stop thinking about that movie. I know I've said this with Signs last episode.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
It really captured me in a way that I wasn't expecting. I'm not a huge found footage fan, but I think this was done very right. I couldn't help but be enamored with it and think more about it. And I was really surprised how well the visual effects and stuff kind of held up.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't be upset with either of these winning, but I do have to give my vote for first prize film to Cloverfield.
Okay. Well, listen.
I don't like where this is going already. I don't like that look. I don't like that fucking laugh. What are you doing to me, Dave?
Listen, I loved Godzilla as a kid. I don't know why. And it was a very short-lived love. It didn't last very long for some reason, but I did love it.
6 months.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, 6 months.
But I think Godzilla is a great monster. I love the atomic breath, which I called radiation beams for some stupid reason.
It's fine. It's
I loved his glowing back spike plates, and I love how he kind of has this personality. He is kind of like, all right, humans, kind of dicks, but I'll fuck with it.
That is a good point. He has very visual facial expressions.
Yeah, he does.
He's fucking over it all the time.
That being said, I love found footage movies.
Yeah?
I don't know why. Having said that, I loved Cloverfield when I saw it in theaters. And I thought Godzilla was fun. There was a lot of yeah, Godzilla's back, type shit.
Totally.
Which was awesome. I'm still picking Cloverfield, though.
Okay, yeah.
I'm still picking Cloverfield
Hell
for
yeah.
first prize films.
Right
Yes.
Because it just, you know how I am with films that take a different angle on the same story.
Yeah.
And Cloverfield takes the monster story from the literal ground level. And I thought it was a new, different way to approach that story. But yeah, so I do think that Cloverfield is the better of the two monster movies.
Yeah.
Eva.
I love it. Again, I do think Cloverfield did what Godzilla did in half the time. It's not a huge commitment to watch it. And I feel like it had everything. It had romance, comedy, horror, action. And I'm fine following any of these characters, and they're never like, wow, I wish this person was not in the movie. Like, I feel like everyone had their part, and, there wasn't too many people that you had to like keep their storyline or,
Yeah.
In Godzilla, like the guy went into the cave underwater and like there's just like so many things going on.
Yeah.
It's a lot to keep track of, and Cloverfield is so streamlined and singular in its approach that it can't help but be more effective. And so you've been a fan of this movie for quite a while, right?
Yeah, so I saw it in theaters, I think 5 times.
Damn.
And even before the movie came out, my brother and I, we were on MySpace, and we added like all the characters. So kind of like how Blair Witch worked, where like the cast disappeared. That's kind of how it was on MySpace too. So we were like fully like committed to this movie even before going and seeing it. So it's always going to be my favorite movie just because of all that.
Oh damn! So it's your favorite movie, not just favorite monster movie.
Oh, I had no idea going into that. Well, hell yeah, I picked the right one.
Yeah,
it is official, crew.
Yep.
Cloverfield is our choice for first prize film. It's official. So, in the interest of not keeping Eva here any fucking longer than she has to, we're gonna get her out of here.
Yes, sir. But before we go, Eva, why don't you let all of our listeners know where they can find you and what you do?
I mainly am a streamer on Twitch, so you can find me on there. All the links for all of my social media pages, Twitch, TikTok, is on my Instagram, and my Instagram is queen_worm.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
It's been so much fun.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Such
guys.
We're going to have to do this again.
Yes. Awesome. Bye. Hey, First Prize listeners. Thanks for tuning in this week. Thanks for destroying everything with us. If you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed our lovely guest, consider subscribing to our socials. It's at First Prize Pod. We're on all platforms. That includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on TikTok and YouTube as well. Also, don't forget to check out our website. It's firstprizefilms.com.
Yeah, we do this for free because Godzilla's going to step on all of our children anyway. But if you'd like to support us, consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts or just telling your friends.
Join us next week for our season finale as we scare ourselves through these found footage horror films.
It's going to be spooky. We're going to leap into Paranormal Activity 2009 versus The Blair Witch Project 1999.
We're going to soil all of the undergarments.
So many undergarments.
See ya!
Bye ya! I'm a fucking monster.